Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Chrisean Rock is inspiring the world, men and women, especially the ladies, young and old. And fans are behind her because they see Chrisean Rock as up, and away to something great. But they see a potential stumbling block. So before we get into the dialogue, just listen to this.
Yesterday was a feel-good story for me because, I got to see Chrisean Rock have her pro debut, and it's not even about like people like, oh, this was that. It was like Chrisean been through so much, and we got to see it up close and personal, and to see her go through everything that she went through with, her ex-guy, the baby, baddies, family, to see her actually come out on the other side, and win and put her fighting skills to use, to actually have like some dedication, to see her praise God, like that was very moving to me, you know what I mean? And I'm happy that I can be one of her inspirations. And she caught me a lot when she first decided to even start this journey, and I was telling her, like, hey, if she wanted to get trained by me or she wanted to come with me, she could, or wherever she go, whenever she want to come and train, I'm open to it, and I'll teach her what I know, and give her some tips. And she did really, really good, and I'm just happy for her, you know what I mean? And with success comes a lot of vouchers, and people want to place themselves around you. And I just wanted to remind her that, remember when you was down on your knuckles and everybody turned their back on you, because those same people going to be the ones who want to be front row and center right now while you are making this big life transition, and you winning these boxing matches, and you getting these views, you making this money. And money do change people, like it don't change you. Yesterday.
Okay. Now, this is the problem here, and I'm gonna talk about it. But 99% of people, they're saying that under different circumstances, as far as Claressa Shields and all the drama that's associated with her right now, they said under different circumstances, they 100% would support Chrisean attaching herself to Claressa because of what Claressa brings to the table as a boxer. They said, but under current circumstances, they don't want her to be nowhere near Claressa Shields for obvious reasons, right? Because they know she came from chaos, Chrisean Rock. And they see that she's changing. And everybody, as far as the pulse I'm getting, they're celebrating the transformation of Chrisean Rock. And I'm going to tell you, I've known of her name, but I didn't know everything associated with her because I never paid attention to it. Everyone knows Hood Champion to tell you in a heartbeat. I'm from the old school, and I don't be on the internet like that. It's become like a joke on my channel now, right? But what I do know is that there are very few public figures whose lives have unfolded in real time, the way Chrisean Rock's life has unfolded. And you look at yesterday, it's just another situation involving her where you see things unfolding in front of the world. So the bottom line is her journey hasn't been quiet. It's been polished. It's being polished now, but it hasn't always been polished. And it hasn't been traditional at all. But that's exactly why people are paying attention right now. The whole world is watching her at this moment, you know what I'm saying? Because what I feel people think they're watching, they're saying this might be one of the most raw transformations in modern internet culture. She's someone who came from chaos to control, from reaction and being reactive to reflection and seeing where she came from, the mistakes she made, how she doesn't want to make those mistakes anymore. And it's seeing that she was very controversial, from the fighting, the alcohol, the relationship, and everything else that came with that, right? To being very inspirational for many. And they feel as she continues on this path, remaining consistent, she's going to continue to inspire many, many more. Now, a lot of ladies on the channel got me up to speed. They were like, Hood, you need to understand the beginning. She went viral for chaos. That's why people are celebrating her right now. There was, what it sounded like to me, there was an early internet image of Chrisean. And I did look at some clips people sent me, and I took time to go look at it a little bit, and I'm like, oh, wow. You mean to tell me all this shit was going on? And I understand now why so many people are celebrating her, because she first gained attention through, I think, a lot of social media clips. I think it was the reality style content, Baddies, Zeus Network, and unfiltered high energy behavior, erratic, again, and just some other things that were going on. And I ain't trying to get into all that. You guys know, because I listen to the ladies. But the bottom line is, I think she was often associated then with heavy partying, volatile situations, unpredictability. And to see where she is now, I mean, it's just night and day, man. So from a psychological perspective, for me, I'm like, how did somebody get there, and how did they get to this point? You know what I'm saying? I think back then her public persona reflected more like an impulse-driven behavior, you know? And I think it's tied to, just from listening to her, even last night, just the mention of her mom and her mom being in a better space right now. I think that behavior before was driven by the environment, probably stress, lack of structure, emotional survival patterns, something that a lot of us can identify with. That's why I'm telling you, she's very inspirational to a lot of people. There's a lot of us, men and women, who understand that shit, but we haven't figured out a way to climb out of that emotional trough to recover. She has. And that's why we're watching. And we're like, shit, how's she doing this? Because we want to do that too. But because of how she was before, I think that's why shit went viral, you know? One thing I know about the internet, people are drawn to chaos, conflict, extreme personalities. It creates attention even if it's negative. Even if you know the person talking is dumb as hell, uneducated, can't offer anything to the world, you can find the drama addictive. And a lot of people go towards that, even though you don't benefit except to laugh and be like, this person's an idiot, but they're funny with the bullshit they talk. People watch it. Now, this thing about reality TV, I think this is where shit really escalated, man. Now, I listen to the ladies on my channel, and they know Hood Chevrolet. He don't know much about that baddie stuff, but it sounds like she may have been involved with the baddies era, and how that may have amplified her visibility. Now, I did see some videos people sent me. There was some physical confrontations. Seemed to be some high intensity moments and constant tension, you know? And that's why I like to talk about the environment effect. She's not in an environment that's going to create tension for her, not in the church. She's not going to be any high intensity moments, not with the people she's around right now. And she's not going to have any physical confrontations unless she's there sparring and training and getting ready for a fight. So she's done a complete 180 here. And that's outstanding. But the environment effect is something we should understand. When you talk about this reality TV shit, those environments often reward, it just depends. But actually, I ain't gonna lie. Because I remember going all the way back to when I used to watch TV. I'm talking when they had The Real World on MTV, where the first episode, what was her name? Tammy, David. They had the boy that played the guitar, the little Hispanic police officer girl, and the other guy who had a surfboard. I don't remember. I just remember David's name, Tammy's name, and I don't remember the other one's name. But I watched that. At that point in time, I was having time to watch a little TV. But even then, the drama, man, the drama is what got everyone's attention. So you fast forward to right now, it was that environment, man. You know what I'm saying? Reinforcing conflict, showing all the dramatic behavior, blurring lines between real and performative. You know what I mean? And that's why I think there's a cycle, man. And I think these people who are behind these reality TV shows and all that, they understand drama equals attention. Even people with YouTube channels. No talent, no intelligence, nothing. But if you come and bring drama, you will get attention. And people like that shit. It's just like comedy. Someone says, knock, knock. You say, who's there? They say Irish. You say, Irish who? You say, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. You'll get some laughs. But if you come and say, knock, knock, they say, who's there? Say, nobody, MFer. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody laughing. Everybody want to be around it. Because people like the drama. It creates attention. But my thing is when you have the drama, it creates attention. When you get the attention, it creates more opportunities. But when you get more opportunities, it creates more pressure to perform. And the cycle repeats. Just from what I'm seeing, it seemed like she wanted to break that cycle. She didn't want nothing to do with it. And I think that has something to do with the relationship she had, the high-profile relationship with this the rapper. What's his name? Blueface? Now, I don't know a lot about that, but I do remember seeing, something on Twitter a while ago that had come across with this guy Whack 100. Something about Chrisean, Blueface, something about a fight. I just remember seeing that clip back in the day, and I was like, what is this shit? I didn't know they had a real, because I don't be watching that shit. But I did see that clip, and I was like, what is this? So, whatever. But the bottom line is, it was a highly public relationship. And what I realize now is what I saw was a relationship that was extremely visible, frequently controversial, and emotionally intense. And the public perception, a lot of fans at that point in time, they saw it as toxic, unstable, harmful to both individuals. Now that's what I got out of it when I saw that clip where Wack, I think he went to Blueface's house. I can't remember what it was, but I know it was something with this guy Wack. Because I know his name is always in something. But I remember seeing that clip and I was like, what the hell is this? Because I said it looked like it's harmful to both individuals. But I'll tell you this, just from my experience, right? And having people who've gotten in trouble for domestic issues, the male to the female, female to the male, things with their children, right? I got a lot of experience in dealing with those things, okay? And I try to give a bit of a psychological insight when it comes to that. I think high conflict relationships often involve emotional dependency, cycles of escalation and reconciliation. It's like you reconcile and you're back in the honeymoon stage. Then a little bit of time goes by and people start bringing up the shit you did before. All of a sudden, you get some escalation. You get some kind of something gets physical. Some kind of bottom line is people start getting violated, and things escalate and get nasty. And then you try to reconcile again. And when you're in relationships like that, because a lot of times there's really emotion there, but the two of you just may not be the best for each other, and it's difficult breaking those patterns. But from what I understand, and y'all feel free to chime in, because Hood Champion don't mind. I'm just telling you, it seems like the parenthood and responsibility, that seemed to have changed her. And I'll just leave it as that. With the arrival of the child, I went in, I looked today, and I see the post she makes. I see the things she writes. The child changed her. Those are her words. She's crazy about her child. More responsibility, more scrutiny, more pressure to stabilize. And that's for anybody across the board when there's an arrival of a child. Now, as far as the conflict, the survival, the perception, and how she was able to get to the point where she was at yesterday. I think the public incidents, man, I think she just got tired of that bull crap. Moments of confrontation, whether it was on a show or something real life, that continued to define her image. And I don't think she wanted to deal with that crap no more. And people took notice, man. I mean, despite the chaos, fans also notice, like, yo, Chrisean Rock's resilient. You know, she's tough, she's fearless, and she can endure pressure. She has a quality not many people have. And that's important, because the same traits that fuel conflict can also fuel success. And that's what we're seeing right now with her. Those same qualities that had her out here doing the things that probably wasn't going to lead her to success, she used those qualities to fuel her success. The aggression became competitiveness, and the survival instinct became resilience. And that's what we're seeing in real time. And that resulted in the turning point. Faith and reflection. Now, this is where I did notice this, right? And I was like, there was a song, that she had out. And I was seeing that pop up, because by this time, I'm out here doing videos, covering the women in boxing and Claressa Shields, and there's different things that popping up on Twitter and shit. And I'm like, oh, this is the Chrisean girl, right? And I'm like, what's this? She's singing now? So I'm like, oh, okay, it looked like a bit of a change here. And I saw what she was singing about, because I figured it would have been some rapping or something. But she was out here singing. I was like, yo, she crying? I'm like, oh, she going through it. And I'm like, but this is good. I mean, in a good way. She's trying to be a better person. And she's basically pouring her heart out in front of the world, like, this is me, and I want to take control and change the narrative. And I've gone somewhere where I'm getting the help. And I just thought that shit was outstanding. I'll be honest with you. I did, man. A shift towards spirituality in church became quite visible with her, and it still is. And this shit matters, because when you start talking about people and the behavior and understanding the psychology behind it, I think moments like this often represent an identity reset. Sometimes we need to do that. You start seeking structure. I mean, only an idiot can be out here and just like to be in drama. Only a fucking loser. At some point, you got to say, all right, I need an identity reset. I can't keep going this way. This ain't worth it. It's exhausting, because it starts to affect you. And with her, she was seeking structure. She was searching for meaning. She was reframing her self-worth, which is 100%, I think, the right thing that she did, man. And I noticed the behavioral shift, because at this point, I'm kind of paying attention, and I'm doing my lives, and I'm hearing little things. But I'm like, okay, she's out here, man, and very positive, and it's really all about, family now. I'm like, okay. Instead of reacting, I felt like, from just what little bit I was seeing, it seemed to be reflecting, rebuilding, redirecting energy, and being around positive people who have her best interests in mind. That's why she's up and away right now. She's surrounding herself with people who have her best interests in mind. Why would anyone who's around her want to pull her back to the chaos, the controversy? Nah, man, have her here and push her. If it's the church, music, self-expression, push her. She got a hit song. And it's not about rapping. It's not about sexuality. It's not about none of that crap. You know what I'm saying? It's about what identifies her now. And I think that's outstanding. I like the fact outside of boxing, she has an outlet with music. She has a platform for expression and a way to reshape identity. I like that. I did see a clip where she's singing, somebody's playing the guitar or whatever it was, and she's singing and she's crying. I'm like, she getting it out. I like that, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm all about positivity. I got a great sense of humor, don't get me wrong, but when I see somebody really trying, you gotta support that. You gotta support that, man. But creative expression helps a lot of people, man, to process emotions, tell personal stories, and rebuild a narrative. And that's what she's found, a psychological function of creativity. And I think it's outstanding. So now she's entered boxing, and who knew what direction that was going to go? But she got a new challenge put in front of her, man, because I'm telling you, stepping into a boxing ring, shit. That represents, you have to have controlled aggression. You have to have discipline, there's structure, there's accountability, there's adaptability. You got to have, confidence. It ain't easy to go into no boxing gym, man, and start training. People watching you, you're learning, you don't know what the hell you're doing, then you start figuring it out, you spar, somebody binging you. It's not easy to do that in front of a group of people. That's why the people who've never done it, when they run their mouth, it's just, you got to ignore them. You know what I mean? It's not easy to get in front of a bunch of people and fight, especially in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I think what she did is powerful, especially someone who had a history of chaos. She's found a way to use boxing to channel her energy into purpose. And yesterday was a very good statement, man. She showed that she was able to overcome fear. Winning a fight is not just physical. It represents facing fear, building confidence, proving change is possible. And she did that. Now, as far as, again, that piece I played earlier with Claressa Shields and kind of offering a bit of mentorship, huge public debate going on about that right now. Huge public debate. That outreach from Claressa Shields, there have been discussions about guidance and mentorship and mixed fan reactions, and some see the value in elite level guidance. Others feel like, nah, she got it from Coach Calvin and the team over there. They were the ones who groomed Gervonta Davis from a kid to where he is now. She doesn't need Claressa Shields because they understand the timing, Claressa trying to get involved, and the public perception of Claressa Shields, and they're like, she doesn't need that around her. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the psychology of influence. They understand that, and they understand perception. And they're like, we don't, she's just fine where she is. We don't need no outsiders coming over here giving her gifts. It ain't her birthday. Get out of here. We don't want it. Thank you, but no thank you. And that's coming even louder from the fans. You see, when you have I think mentorship works the best. I've mentored a lot of people, right? Mentorship works best, in my opinion, when the mentor's image aligns with the message. People used to always watch me. That's why I still have that in me. No matter what I feel to say, what I feel to do, I know people are watching me. But trust me, we're human. We may think to behave a kind of way, but there are always people watching you and judging you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important when you're trying to mentor someone, your image has to align with your message. You can't be out here being toxic or telling somebody to do something and you're doing otherwise. You can't be out here criticizing and ridiculing people and you're doing 10 times worse. People who are watching you are eventually going to be like, I ain't paying this dude no attention or this female no attention. You out here talking all this talk about a certain person or what not to do in this, but you're doing 10 times worse. Or you're talking about something and you're inconsistent. You know what I mean? So when you are trying to secure, I think, like a role as a mentor for somebody, you got to understand your image has to align with the message you're sending. Because the one thing I'll tell you, the student's growth is protected. There are people on the outside looking, and if they're like, you're going to take this person down the wrong way, it's that mob mentality, that community effect. They're going to sit back and come and protect the student's growth. They're not going to allow that, especially when you see someone like Chrisean Rock and where she came from, where she's at now. It's not that people don't see the value in someone like Claressa Shields, but they're like, no. We can't afford to have her have any setbacks. We can't afford to have a relapse here. You know what I'm saying? And Chrisean has a lot of respect for Claressa and what she brings to the ring. And that's cool. Leave it there. That's it. Just leave it there. And go on about your business. Because right now, Chrisean Rock is relatable. And she has brand appeal. That means brand potential. She's marketable, people. Something she wasn't. Right now, she is very marketable. She's likable. She's inspiring. She has qualities a lot of these female fighters, some have it, some don't. She has it. And I'm telling you, people connect with her. especially the young women. They see an authentic struggle, man. They see imperfection. They see growth. They see real life challenges. You know what I'm saying? And they have this connection with her psychologically, man. You know, they're sitting there looking like, damn, that transformation, we like that. People don't care about perfection. They relate more to the transformation, to see how you were and how you evolved. Being on this internet too, you could go down a rabbit hole, but you got to snap out of that. Fuck that. This internet's a dark place. And they're watching her. The world is cold. But you got to have the strength to be like, man, fuck that. I know that ain't right. And go against the grain. Fuck what everybody thinks. You got to be that 1%. Let the 99% think what they want. Fuck them. You do what you think, what you think is right. And Chrisean Rock is doing, she went the direction that she felt she needed to go. And she's up and away. You know what I'm saying? People relate more to the transformation than perfection. And they relate more to the transformation. They definitely don't care about the drama at a certain point. Now, as far as opportunities, as far as the transformation she's made, let me tell you something, man. She has become so relatable that I don't think I know this is happening right now. Brands are taking interest. Her audience is growing. The influence is expanding, but it's positive. I just think there's a bigger message here. I just think there's a bigger message here. What her story represents. This isn't just about one person, it's about change being possible. And the reality is transformation is not linear, it's not perfect, and it's not immediate. It takes time. And she's a work in process. But she's processing. And I'll just say this, man, because I'm tired. I don't think I'm going to go live tonight. Just chill. If I go live, it just depends on what I feel, right? I'll just say this. The reason people are watching Chrisean Rock, not because she's with Coach Calvin and Javante Davis trainer. No. That's not why they're watching her. People are watching Chrisean Rock not because of who she was. A lot of them know her from that. But they're watching her right now because of the transformation and who she might become. They see what she's becoming, and it's all good. But they're just like, wow, she's still transforming. Where is she going to end up? If she stays consistent, positive people, stays locked in. It's not even about boxing. It's just her attitude, her energy, her mentality, what she wants for herself, her vision, her plan, is sticking to her plan, her goals. They're like, oh, she up and away. And I'm telling you right now, that's why people are watching Chrisean Rock. Because of who she might become. And a lot of people believe she's going to get there. Anyway, man, from chaos to purpose. This is the Chrisean Rock transformation that nobody expected. And it's looking damn good to me. In the breeze.